This week on the Kokomo Press Podcast, we have a very special guest. His name is Juston Grubb, and he is a professional wrestler who wrestles with AllAmerican Championship Wrestling, AACW, here in Kokomo, Indiana. They have a show on April 15th at Morningstar Church, $12. That's how much the tickets are. Go get them. It's going to be a great time. But not only does he wrestle, he's also a streamer who streams gaming through his page, Random Hero Gaming. Check him out. He's got almost 5,000 followers. He streams Call of Duty, he streams Fortnite, and he's talking about maybe even streaming Hogwarts Legacy. You'll have to check that out. This week, Cortni and I had a great time talking with Justin, and we can't wait for you to watch this new, very exciting episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast, baby.
Warning, this video contains adult content not suitable for children.
What's up? It's the Kokomo Press Podcast. I'm Jordan Granger, and as always, I'm joined by one of the greatest co-hosts to ever walk the face of the earth.
Cortni.
Her name's Cortni Richardson. Say hi, Cortni.
Hi.
Supposed to say hi, Cortni. And
hi, Cortni.
We have a special guest tonight. He is a professional wrestler. You can actually see him in town in a couple of weeks. I actually have the flyer. I'll post it up. But he is Juston Grubb, a.k.a.
Justin Terrell.
Yep, the Prophet, baby. Woo!
Let's go.
I'm going to get some of these going. Sorry. I'm using all the angles in the beginning just to play around.
Hey,
Goofing
whatever
off.
works.
Yeah, man. So how you been?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Yeah, you guys kind of took a couple months off, right?
Yeah, we're not going to go into this.
I don't want to get you.
Right. We're not going to get into the story, but unfortunately,
We can just lie. We can just lie. We had a difference of
Part of the story.
Yeah, that's part of the story. We just lie. No, you guys have been doing it for a minute. How long is the because you're part of AACW,
Right.
AllAmerican Championship Wrestling? How long you guys been doing the damn thing?
So we started All-American Championship Wrestling, I want to say probably 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
Little known fact behind the story, we wanted to bring wrestling back to Kokomo.
Yep.
Back in 2005, 2006, we had a little incident with a former wrestling company that we no longer talk about.
Yeah.
Kind of put a black hole and a black stain of professional wrestling in Kokomo.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
And so, there was no wrestling in Kokomo, nothing, because we remember going, I remember going to shows at the Haynes Apperson.
Hell yeah.
And seeing 3,000, 4,000 people just standing there watching a free show.
I used to go to independent wrestling shows at the Armory and stuff for the longest time. I was going there watching shows, but I knew that's kind of
right. And so when that happened, me and JH Hall, we sat around and we decided, hey, let's get rid of this black stain and kind of resurrect.
Yeah, restart. Let's get a refresh
and bring wrestling back to Kokomo because there's so many things that not just kids in town and people.
Yeah.
We need other things to do. Like now we got the baseball team.
Yeah.
We got the basketball team now, but
there's a lot
gotta be
going
other
on.
things.
Yeah. Well, luckily, Kokomo has kind of had a resurgence, and
Right.
obviously, we've got professional wrestling in town, like you said, the Bobcats, the Jackrabbits. We've got comedy shows we're doing. We got movie premieres. There's so much going on, but yeah, it's nice what you guys have done. I went to shows that you guys did at that banquet center. What's it called?
The banquet center.
Over by the comic shop. It was
Over
remember
by Paragon Comics.
Yeah. We did. I know you guys did shows there that you guys did at the Carver Center. Now you guys are moving it out to what's the church?
It's called the Connection behind Morningstar Church.
Heck yeah, man! And you guys are doing a full show there, from start to finish.
We got 4 shows there this year, and then so we got April, May, October, and November, and then. My goal, I'm already working on other venues, not just in Kokomo, but in Tipton and
You got to.
Windfall, Sharpsville, and the surrounding areas to try to expand the brand, not just expand the brand, but also to bring out, pretty much bring more new fans into it.
Yeah. That's a good call. I mean, honestly, the more people you can get involved, we need things to do in town in general, and then the more people can get involved. Like I said, I've been to multiple shows. I've been to shows at the other 2 venues that you guys have done that I'd been to, and then I know you have the new venue, so I want to go check that out. Is there anybody we should be excited to see coming up? I mean, besides obviously you, Justin.
I mean,
Terrell,
obviously, you got to come see the AACW champion.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's right there.
Me and Christian Cash are gonna go at it one more time.
Hell yeah.
for the heavyweight championship.
You guys are former tag team partners.
We are former tag team partners. We're former enemies, former tag team partners, and now enemies again. So,
which is crazy because we've had Christian Cash on the podcast. Great guest, fun guy. Does a lot of crazy stuff. You guys even use, I think, AACW for like the TV show and stuff.
Yeah. We one of our tag matches we did a the 2-on-1 fans bring the weapons handicap match.
That was fun, yeah.
Which was phenomenal.
Yeah, I saw a lot of footage. I was there that night, had to leave early. I was so mad.
And so we were sitting there, and Christian goes, "Hey, in a couple of weeks, you need to watch the premiere, or not premiere, but the commercial for the Canary Currency."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what? And then next thing you know, I see myself coming out. I'm like, hey, where's my royalties?
Yeah, I gotta get my money now.
But no, we enjoy it. The thing that I think that separates us from a lot of these companies is, we always give opportunities.
Yeah.
And like we got a lot of new green guys, what they call them green guys, but a lot of rookies, guys that's trying to break into the business. And
yeah.
In other places, these guys wouldn't wrestle for a year and a half.
Yeah.
But here we're training them and trying to get them to also learn on the fly and how a match is structured and working while training. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. Okay? So ACW, that's JH Hogg. Yeah. Right. We had him on the podcast. We did a pod with him. So yeah, you work with him, and you guys with AACW, and you guys. So one of the things you guys do is you guys bring in. You said green people, which would be like people who are like newbies,
right? Just now trying to make it, and now break it in. So
yeah. So my next question would be, Cortni, why aren't you out there working? We need a women's division.
We do. We are trying to get a women's division up.
Where are you at? Where are you at, Cortni?
Bro, I'm 5 foot tall.
I know that everybody likes midget
that's
wrestling.
all right.
I'm gonna do it.
Then you said, I'm pretty sure I read on a post recently about Big Daddies that you once wrestled a midget.
I did.
Okay, so
bring in some midget wrestlers.
Little person. I don't know.
Well, see, and that's the thing.
I feel like I'm allowed to say it because I am almost
pretty much one. Yeah.
Because like even now, like you look at the Howard County Fair, they're bringing in micro wrestling.
That's awesome.
And all those guys and gals, they're phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
I enjoy talking to them. I've always tried to bring them in because I felt like me as a bad guy and people are supposed to hate me. I think like the best thing I can do is to beat up somebody that's 3 foot tall.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, it will definitely get a pop. You'll definitely get a pop that way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Some real heat on you if you're mean to kids.
Oh,
because I know like they had that big thing that popped off recently with MJF. Didn't he like spill a drink on a kid or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know like it's something that helps get you heat quick if you're mean to kids.
But see, and that's the thing, like.
But that's what he's supposed to do.
When I was younger, because I broke out, I started wrestling and had my first match when I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
So 17 years ago, and I've learned a lot of things over the years. But like, I've learned that being the bad guy is so much easier being the good guy.
Oh yeah.
Because it's one, you got to get people to like you, and if you don't have that charisma and you don't have, that it factor, I should say, to get the fans.
It's easier to make people not like you.
Right, to get people behind you and make it believable for them, it can be challenging. But like me being 15 years old, it was easy for me because I was still in high school. I was still athletic because of high school sports, and I had that baby face, so it was easier to be face.
Yeah.
But the older I got, I was like, man, I want to do something different. Like I'm tired of being the good guy.
Yeah.
I want to experience the other side. And I remember one of the first opportunities I got, I wrestled in Chicago, and I had a guy that was native in Chicago.
Yeah.
We were a couple blocks from Wrigley Field, and they said, "Hey, you are wrestling for the cruiserweight championship, for the lightweight championship tonight."
Yeah.
He goes, "You're the bad guy." He goes, "I want you to get him to hate you." I said, "Oh, no problem. Do you have like a jersey shop or something, right?"
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And little did I know, like obviously Wrigley was down the road, so I went to Wrigley Field, bought a cheap jersey, no name, nothing like that. Walked out and I started cutting a promo, and in that promo, I took the jersey off and I lit it on fire.
Yeah, that'll get them.
And being a couple blocks from Wrigley Field, like I already knew I was not gonna make it out of there.
Might be a little bit too much.
And I actually had to have police to escort me out. So it was pretty intense.
It's fun. I mean, I know we've got a lot of really crazy connections to wrestling here at the podcast because, you know, her Cortni's man is a huge wrestling fan, and they just went to AACW Dynamite, was it? Would you guys go to in Indy? Or Cincinnati? Cincinnati.
House show.
Yeah, you went to something. Honestly, I used to be really into wrestling as a kid. Like, I used to get off school, come home, and I used to write, like, entire, like, wrestling plots because I did, like, this role-playing game.
Yeah.
And so I was obsessed, did a lot of backyard wrestling with friends and stuff. But that's the furthest I took it. It's crazy. Like, you know, last week we had the Alpha athlete Chris Owens on. And we've had a lot of wrestlers, like Christian Cass. We've had J.H. Hogg, obviously Jordan Bell, manager, and Alcon House manager. We've had a lot of like crossover with wrestling.
Right.
Leonard Pigg, who's part of your guys's. I know he did a lot of stuff with you guys. Is he still working with you guys?
He's still the commissioner of AACW.
You guys go through commissioners like it's nobody's business.
You know, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You know?
I like it. You guys had since I've been paying attention and been in the sphere of AACW. You guys have had it like 3 different commissioners, which is great.
Well, I mean, you look at it this way, like me being the bad guy. You know, obviously I'm the champ, so to be the man, you got to beat the man.
Yep.
And we're not going to talk about what happened in October. October, I had to wrestle J.H. Hogg and basically put him in his place. But unfortunately, I had guys wanted J.H. Hogg to win.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you want the boss to win?
Yeah.
You know, I am trying to get rid of the boss, but y'all
the boss hog.
Yeah, but y'all don't want to help me. So unfortunately, I'm no longer Dynamite 2 belts or the Prophet 2 belts.
Yeah.
But that's okay because April 15th.
Yeah, you guys got a show.
April 15th is coming back.
Let's talk a little bit about the show. April 15th, I've got the flyer right here.
All right.
Saturday, April 15th, All-American Championship Wrestling. Tickets are only $12, 5 and under free, so that's pretty cool. Morningstar Church at Connection, 2900 East Markland Avenue. Check it out, man. They've got tickets, they've got vendors, they got VIP tables. Doors open at 6, bell time's at 7, so make sure you're there by 7 for sure. And come out there. It's a fun get together. Every time I go to one of these shows, there's always so much going on. You guys
I know.
There's
I
kids.
had fun and I
there's
didn't
everything.
even like wrestling.
That's crazy because like even if like you're like I'm not really into it. I don't really know the storylines. Trust me, you'll get out there, you'll understand it, you'll have a good time. And either way, you could it's like watching a crazy show going on, and you're like, what the hell?
Well, see, that's a lot of things. Like I try to tell people, like if you watch it on TV. Find your local companies and go to the local shows.
It's so much different in person.
Because it is
really
so much
is.
different in person. But like a lot of times you look at it and like guys that you see in person at local shows one day will be there. Like,
yeah, it's possible. It's like, and it's something. There's a streamline. There's a pipeline that goes.
And so like I've talked. I know at work like I've talked. Her and like
you guys work together.
Yeah, we work together.
And
how's the strip club going? I'm just kidding. Keep going. My bad.
He's a bouncer.
What do you do again?
And
That's why I was fighting that midget.
I talked about Ruby Soho.
Yeah. She's from Indy, right?
Yeah, she's actually
Lafayette,
she is actually from Michigan.
Okay.
But
Wrestled
she got her start in a company called RCW up in South Bend.
Royal Cola Federation. Just kidding.
And I worked with her a little bit, and I'm not going to go into any other details. She was just breaking out as a manager and like wrestling here and there.
Yeah.
But if she would have never went to Billy Rock in Lafayette, she would have never been where she is now. Yeah. And I think that was probably the smartest move she could have done was go get trained by a accredited school.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, people have to trust you. That's one thing people don't understand with, like, if you don't know the behind the scenes. I know enough people that do it, so we've talked about it. And you have to have a lot of trust in the person you're wrestling, because if they're not trained, if they make the wrong call, if they turn the wrong way. We talked a little bit about that the last podcast with Owens. Is he does 2 different kicks off the top rope, and he went to jump off, forgot which one he was doing, did a half-ass one, and broke his fucking arm. So I mean, like, and that's really like how this shit can go if you don't.
You asked when I was gonna do it. I am the clumsiest person ever.
I know that, but I'm saying you break your arm one time, then you're done.
Hey, I'm just letting you know. Like, I have a wrestling ring, so if you want to get started training, just let me know.
Yeah, like, just go out there, get your wrestling on. You seem like, I know you're a little wheezy, but we'll just make sure that there's not a lot of cardio involved. No, honestly, like it's really cool. So if you guys are interested at all, $12. That's actually cheap to come see a whole show. I mean, how long do the events usually last? Because you guys have like an intermission.
How much are the VIP spots?
I mean, it just depends. Usually shows are 2.5, 3 hours long, depending on.
And you guys have like an intervention.
Yeah.
So and there's you guys gonna still have like hot dogs and stuff like.
So we're bringing in a new vendor.
Oh shit!
So this
breaking news.
Yeah. So this I don't know exactly who it is. I don't know if it's on the flyer or not. It is.
Oh cool! Hell yeah! Let me pull it up.
It's down in the right hand corner. Dre Days. Yes. They're. He's bringing in he wanted to do the concessions. He's bringing in. I mean, you're gonna have pulled pork. I mean, you name it, he's bringing it in. So
yeah, I remember you guys when I went to the one at the Paragon or
Paragram,
something like that. Paradigm. Yeah, when I went there, you guys had some freaking hot dogs and some cheese dogs. I was like, I want a cheese dog and a Coke. I'm gonna have a great time. I was like, I like that idea.
But you know, it was
that's why we went.
It was cool because like at the Carver Center, we were able to have the beer table and stuff like that. Yeah. And, you know, sometimes people do get out of control.
Yeah, beer can definitely be
but,
liquid.
you know, you got to be able to satisfy everybody. And, like...
I feel like a lot of people have to be drunk to really appreciate
Not necessarily either. Not necessarily either. Like, me, when I tell people, like, if you're going to promote anything, like, especially, like, wrestling... You gotta be able to hit all the how do you put this?
Demos.
Like
every demographic possible.
Yeah, like you got to be able to hit the teenage group and the young kids, and they're not gonna read a newspaper.
Right.
No.
So you got to hit the social media world, and then you look at your people that are in the 40s and 50s. They're probably not going to be tech savvy. So you got to hit them on the radio or in the newspaper.
Yeah, I mean, within the next 10, 20 years, it might all just be social media at that point. But right now, you still are trying to get people and a lot of people who grew up on wrestling, WWE, WCW. Like, I mean, there was one more, wasn't there? What was the one with Paul Heyman?
ECW.
ECW, Extreme.
I don't know why you look at me like I would know.
Because you're pretending to like wrestling now. She started dating a guy that likes wrestling, so now she likes wrestling.
That's how a lot of people get into. Like, they meet somebody who is a big wrestling fan, and they're like, "Hey,
I'm wearing a Hannah Montana shirt."
I know. You really are wearing it. You're totally wearing one.
Yeah,
you really are.
I want to make out with a little Nas X right now just because you're wearing that shirt.
Yeah.
Because her dad did that song with him.
Yeah.
I want to take him down to Old Town Road and ride until I can't no more.
Yeah.
No, I love that. No, I mean, I think it's great what you guys do. You guys make sure the show is family friendly. You guys aren't going too crazy with you guys aren't dropping F-bombs every other word. You guys aren't. There's not a lot of blood. There's not anything like that. So it's family friendly enough, but there's enough intrigue that you can definitely have fun.
I'm gonna go see a death match.
Well, you won't see a death match in AACW. You won't see a death match in AACW.
I'm gonna need to. I need you to let me know when those are.
I will definitely give you guys a little spoiler.
Well, here we go.
Here you go.
Breaking news.
The May 20. It was supposed to be May 20th. Was the May show? Yeah. Unfortunately, we had to reschedule it. It's going to be Memorial Day weekend.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So it'll be May 27th. For all you veterans out there.
Veterans, that's me.
And myself as well.
Hi. Oh, we're veterans.
And for all the veterans out there, and
some things.
who and those currently in the military and whatnot, they're going to be able to get in free.
Hell yeah.
For the May show, and on top of that,
can I use my dad's?
No. On top of that, the main event for the May show will be inside a steel cage.
Ooh. Steel fucking cage. That's exciting, man. So it's tall enough.
So it's tall
enough.
It's tall enough for a steel cage.
There's gonna be a steel cage. So. Cortni, you need to get trained so we can get you in that steel cage.
Bro.
Isn't that what you have more experience with steel cages than anybody else because of that cage that your family left you had you live in when you were little. Yeah. They had to. There was.
So and I'll do it.
Yeah. So you'll be able to escape the cage very easily.
That's funny.
I can fit through the cracks.
The cracks. So let me throw this up here. This is for everybody to see. Okay. This is actually your athlete page. So
Yes,
check us out.
yes.
You got some shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees, which is pretty lit. Check that out as well. Dynamite Justin Terrell, Justin with an O. So I was like Justin with an O. That's,
Yeah.
that's a different one. And but we're going to talk a lot of.
Outfit?
So my gear is on its way. My new gear is on the way. I did get the jacket.
Will you have it in time for the show?
So the jacket will be debuted at the show.
That's baller.
But the
I
new
got to see
gear
it.
yet, it's not. It's on its way. So I'm hoping the new gear is here.
It's always a
before the
fun
show.
time, right? When you got a whole new like. Set
Oh, I
on
know.
and you get to
Like,
come
well,
out there.
and that's like in October. Like when I was wrestling JH Hogg, like we tried to tell the story because JH, I claim him to be my trainer.
Yeah.
He was not the original guy that trained me, but we're not going to get into that situation because I don't like to talk crap about a lot of people.
Listen, you know what? Listen, we're just gonna say I was his original trainer. I was, and he signed up.
What the hell?
He showed
You have
up
to
and I
train me
wasn't
and
there.
You can't do it.
He paid me $500 and then he showed up and I didn't show up. So
And
go ahead.
JH kind of took me under his wing and showed me, the ropes in and out of the
under
business.
his hoof, but yeah.
And so to tell the story, trainer versus trainer, teacher versus student, brother versus brother.
Yeah.
And this was going to be his last match.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to convince him to do one more, but it's very, very hard to convince him. So
It's
this
probably a
was-
lot to do. I mean, he's not a spring chicken, if we're being
No,
honest.
I mean, he's been in the business 20, 30 years.
yeah,
so.
he's been around and he's done a lot of stuff over time.
And so, like, it was only fitting and to really get into his mind because me as the prophet, prophets, they're storytellers, they're foreseers of the future.
Yeah.
And so to really tell the story is I wanted to basically say, or the gear that I came up with in October was I was taking the hog to the butcher house.
Oh, okay.
So I had the butcher's cape and I had a hog head mask that I wore out to the ring to simulate, hey, I'm taking the hog to the butcher. And
That's funny.
so I really tried to, I tried to get into the mind of my opponents and kind of play a lot of those mind games as the bad guy. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
You told me about what you were doing this time. It's still really cool.
You don't give away anything
I'm
that's
not.
happening this time. How dare you?
I'm not.
We don't know what's gonna happen. Listen, we don't have any idea.
I'm just saying
Things can happen.
it's going to be worth watching.
Oh, let's go ahead. This is Courtney's seal of approval. Go ahead, tell the people.
It'll be worth it.
Come out,
It'll
$12.
be worth it. I mean, hopefully, like we've talked to that guy. He's very, very nervous about it.
Oh.
Yeah.
But hopefully, let's just put it this way: I will probably need Jesus after this.
Yes.
Hell yeah, the devil's coming. The devil's coming to town. Oh man, I didn't know you guys rehired Jordan Bell. Just kidding.
Well,
Just
see,
kidding.
no, Jordan's
Love
always welcome. Jordan's
I know
always welcome.
Jordan. I love Jordan the death, but he worked for you guys for a long time, and then
He was the curator of the Prophet.
yeah, and he gets a lot of he just does so much. He's like me. Like we do so much stuff that eventually like it gets caught up to us, and we're like we gotta take a little break. And I know
I completely understand.
the internet is wild. It lets you talk shit 24/7, and sometimes talking shit can go wrong.
Right. Well, see, we're not going to get into the situation.
Oh,
but,
of course
it was a business decision, and I think that if we could have sat all the parties down, then we could have got it squashed. And
Yeah, I mean it's a very touchy situation because when you the thing about doing promo now, and I mean this goes for local wrestling, this goes for national wrestling, this goes for all wrestling. Like now, promo happens on the internet, it happens on Twitter, it happens on Facebook, it happens on TikTok, it happens on YouTube. So the thing is, these things go back and forth, and they can escalate so fucking quickly, and then eventually you're to the point where like, hey man, is this a promo now, or are we? What's going on?
Or are we actually shooting?
Yeah, like are we shooting out here?
And so like you got to find that fine line.
Yeah, and
like
everybody has to be. There's as much as there's trust in the ring. There's got to be trust in the promos. You got to
Exactly.
trust each other and treat each other with respect.
and so like I said, we're not going to get into situations
No,
like
no,
that
of
because
course not.
I respect both all the parties involved.
Yeah.
And Jordan will always have a home, especially he's the one that convinced Dynamite Justin Terrell to come to the dark side.
To the dark side.
And without the curator of chaos, or how should I put this?
That's my job.
The apostle of prophecy,
There
I call
you
him. Dynamite Justin Terrell, or the Prophet Justin Terrell, will not be 4-time AACW champion.
Oh, 4-time. Not one.
Not
Not
twice.
2. not 3, but 4 times. Isn't that like what's his name does that, right? Woo! And he like the one that does the no, he just railed. I'm the scene stealing, driving, fucking
limo driving, jet flying.
Yeah. See, I watched wrestling back then, but I didn't process it when I was a kid, and then I really got into it from then on. And then when he was coming back and doing like his the Twilight shit, I wasn't involved anymore. I'm like, man, I can't watch some old man get beat up.
Like there's so many good things, like, and believe it or not. Like wrestling is really amping up now, because during the early '90s, you had WWF and
Attitude Era,
WCW and ECW. Well, then the Attitude Era came up, and it was the hottest time to be a professional wrestling fan. Yep. And it just exploded. And then after, the Monday Night Wars, and after, WWE bought out WCW and ECW, there was no competition. No. And then, finally you had, TNA or Impact Wrestling. They tried to be competition, but...
Competition is what breeds creativity. So if you take competition out of anything, immediately what ends up happening is things start to go stale quickly. Exactly. Because you don't have anything pushing you to that next level or making you think 2, 3, 4 times like we really need to do this and take those risks. Right. Because a lot of these people just don't take risks.
And that's the so it's like you saw that upward trajectory of WWE, but then no competition and it went down and everybody got bored of it. And so you saw the numbers going down and you saw people not really paying attention to it. And I lost interest in it. And then now you bring AEW in, and now you got, New Japan's crossing over with AEW. Yeah. And now
what's the Billy Corgan one in there? Billy Corgan
NWA.
NWA, yeah.
Yep. And so now you got Ring of Honor, who's bought by the Khans. Yeah.
Which is the same AEW people,
right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so now you got these guys trying to compete with WWE. It's it's bringing wrestling back and more popular again.
And then you got getting Vince out, and now he's back. So it'll be interesting to see what happens because I know Triple H has basically been running the show.
From what I've gathered, and I've been trying to get a little scoops because I got some friends that have been in WWE that. Well, now are in AEW. I got a good friend. His name's Anthony Henry. Yeah. He is on AEW right now, and he works with his partner James Drake, and they're called the Workhorsemen.
Oh yeah. And you ever seen them? I know if you'd seen them because I know you've been watching on AEW. I haven't seen them much on live TV. They have been wrestling on Dark and stuff like that, but they're phenomenal talent. Yeah. And so I've been trying to get skipped because I would like to know what's going on. Yeah, yeah. And from what I've gathered is Vince is just there to help with the sell of the company. Yeah. And not really have any input whatsoever. Yeah, he basically what I also understood about the whole thing is if he's not going to run the thing, he doesn't want to own the thing anymore. Right. Basically, he's like, so who's going to buy it from me? Right. And he wants to be there and be part of those conversations because clearly, what's there's a Hamilton song, I want to be in the room where it happens. That's kind of like what it is. Right. He don't want to. He's on the board, but he's like, I want to make sure that I have the controlling stake. I want to make sure that I get.
Well, and like this. He said that he would not sign off on any deals unless he was involved in it. Yeah. So I mean,
holding them hostage.
Pretty much.
It makes sense though. I honestly get it because if I was him and I spent all that time building the company, doing all the things that he's doing, I would more than likely want to be there when it's time to sell.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize Vince. Yes, he's kind of gotten stale with storytelling and stuff like that, but the things that Vince McMahon did, after he took over the company for his father, was unheard of. Back in the day, you never heard of a wrestling promoter going to other, territories and being like, I want your best wrestlers, and I'm going to put them on my show. Yeah, yeah. And to be able to do that, and then not only that, crossover with celebrities such as, musicians and everything like that, to build a phenomenon like
WrestleMania. I mean, they did that from the start because WrestleMania 1, one of the guest judges was Muhammad Ali. Right. They always. That's the thing about wrestling. As much as people like to give it shit, because wrestling is don't want to say the word, but
well,
a lot
I
of
mean, I'll
will
say it. Like people,
Wrestling is fake.
people, always say wrestling's fake. Well, I mean, but you got to look at it this way: what else is fake?
Everything. Love is blind.
Like you sit there now, people are trying to say, the NFL's rigged and it's scripted, and
The NBA's rigged. That shit with the refs, where like, they got caught and then.
And so it's a scripted dance, but and I always
Anything
say,
can happen.
I always tell us we're bona fide stuntmen.
Yeah.
We go out there.
You know what it reminded me of? Like going to the circus. And
Yeah,
watching the performers.
Right. And so
But there's like a story going on too.
And so we are like a low budget drama.
Yeah.
And if you can't, especially in the local scene, if you can't tell a story to draw your fans to come back in the next show, then what are you doing? Because there's a lot of wrestling promotions that that I've went to over the years, and there hasn't been stories to be told.
No, you definitely need to tell a story. There needs to be a narrative.
That's why I'd rather watch wrestling than what is it, the just
UFC.
where they're rolling on the floor, like
UFC,
scissoring
yeah.
and stuff.
Well, that there's a different. I mean, honestly, between all of it, I think there's a market obviously for all of it, and they're all different, and there are storylines in those too. You just have to follow it really closely. But yeah, there isn't the drama. There isn't. That's the thing about UFC.
I need the entertainment.
They're not really the drama, but like certain good UFC stars, like they will create the drama.
Right.
Like they will create that thing that makes you either hate them.
Yeah,
They
that's
will
why
be a
have,
heel.
the
They will be a
big
face.
pay-per-views,
Right, and that's why you look
Yeah.
at you look at Ronda Rousey, you look at Matt Riddle, and you look at some of these others.
Fucking Brock Lesnar, fucking Ken Shamrock,
right,
baby. You know what I'm saying?
Obviously Lesnar came in the WWE before he went to UFC.
Absolutely.
But for going to UFC and then coming back,
Yeah.
a lot of these guys and gals are doing it because wrestling is a little bit safer.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, you're still going to get hurt.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's still a little bit safer, and you're not beating the crap out of each other and deforming yourself.
And there's a lot of overlap too between, like we were talking about.
Right.
Like you even have CM Punk that went, and did stuff, and you have Ken Shamrock who was like, he was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up. Ken Shamrock was the shit.
Yeah,
I fucking loved it. The ankle lock was the shit. You can't say nothing about the ankle. And then my other favorite wrestler, who became my next favorite wrestler after that, was fucking Kurt Angle, and then he ended up co-opting the ankle lock too. Which is pretty cool.
Speaking of Kurt Angle, next week. I get cleared on the 7th.
Hell yeah.
I broke my foot back in October after the October show, and
Shit, broke the foot.
people, you guys can make fun of me all you want. I broke my foot stepping off my porch.
Oh shit.
Like
I don't even want to talk about why I broke my foot.
I literally,
broke your foot?
the girl, me and my daughters, we were going outside, and I stepped off the porch, broke my foot. They looked at me and said, "Daddy, you okay?" Nope, Daddy. I'm pretty sure Daddy broke his foot. But
They looked at you right in the eyes and just said, "Well, if it was choreographed, you wouldn't have got hurt."
so finally, I'm finally getting cleared. April 7th.
That's badass. Yeah.
And I'm working my first show, April 8th. I've decided like the next 2 years I'm going to go more on the road again
Good.
and actually
That's a good idea.
do more shows, and because I don't want to do this much longer.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't love it.
You want to get
because-
behind the scenes.
Yeah, like I want to do more behind the scenes stuff.
It makes sense, especially if you like to write.
Right, especially like in AACW, like there, we have a lot of decent talent.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys with the charisma that's going to be able to carry the company where we need to without me being there, without JH Hogg being there.
Yeah.
In front of everybody, like I want to be able to be backstage and do all that. Like Christian Cash and like Ricky Guns and Damien DeVille.
I like Damien a lot.
I'm trying to think of other, I'm not trying to upset people, but Brody Bodkins, Jake Elliott, Travis Southern.
You got a lot of people. There's a lot of
There's a lot of
wrestlers.
guys that, can carry this company to where we need to go. And so like me doing it for the next 2 years, 3 years, and then calling it quits, I think that's how I want to go out. And,
Makes sense.
But my very first show on the road
yeah.
in a couple years, it's going to be April 8th. At the Jay County Fairgrounds in, I want to say Portland, Indiana.
Portland? Cool.
And one of the guest stars that's going to be there is not only is the one and only Kurt Angle.
Hell yeah, I love fucking Kurt Angle, dude. I would love. I mean, just being around that guy.
And I'm pretty sure I sent you the flyer.
Is that this right here?
Yep, that's it.
Oh yeah, let's
so
pull
we
it
got
up.
we got Kurt Angle, Buff Bagwell, and Rikishi going to be at that
Holy
show.
shit!
And so that'll be my first debut at that company.
Did I see Brody Watkins on there too?
Brody will be there.
Yeah, I
yes.
see Brody.
Let's see. So we got Brody Watkins will be there. Mike King, the ladies man, Mike King will be there.
Is he on the flyer? I don't see him.
Yeah, he is right beside Rikishi.
Okay, to the.
And
all right. Yeah.
When we were at
Buff Bagwell. I love Buff Bagwell.
what was it called? Right across the street from Hacienda.
Oh yeah. The event center there.
Yeah, when we were there, we brought in Rikishi.
Center stage.
Yeah, center
I think
stage.
it's also called.
We brought in Rikishi, and Rikishi, like,
He's the shit.
he's awesome.
In your face, literally the shit.
Like Rikishi is one of a kind.
Yeah, he's also. I heard he's a really nice guy.
He's
too.
very, very nice. Very nice.
I think he gave the stink face to Alcon. Actually, got it. Alcon got that shit.
Maybe after that, but
Yeah.
but
It'd be
like
after, for
Alcon,
sure.
like we were when he wanted to break into the business, and so I got to work with him and actually break him into the business.
Hell yeah.
Which helped him grow too. So like, and I tell Alcon too. You're always welcome on our shows.
Hell yeah.
You know.
I think it's great, man. It's the good thing about wrestling is there is like a community. It's a community aspect, and people like it's like a huge family, and families fight. Like people forget that all the time. People like act like every organization. Like I can tell you every single like the Kokomo Press has been around for what 3 years, two and a half, 3 years. We fight all the time. I fight with Brian. Brian gets snippy with me. Jordan and I fight all the time. We all fight with each other constantly. But at the end of the day, if you have like a goal in mind and you have like and you have respect for each other, that's where it is. It's like the trust and the respect has to be at the forefront of all of this.
Exactly.
And then after that, people are going to get in squabbles. People are going to bitch. People are going to complain. People are going to throw fits.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, the thing about with me and JH Hogg is like, we may not like each other.
Yeah.
But we have the same goals in mind, and
You have respect for each other.
and like one of the goals, with AACW is we want to get inside the Memorial Gym.
Oh yeah.
That is the dream. That is the goal, to get into Memorial Gym without the help of guys like Rikishi and Kurt Angle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just local guys. And we want to get into Memorial Gym and sell that place out.
So what we're doing right now is we're calling you out. Flory Badunga, I better see you at AACW next year. When he's 18, fucking come out, dude. You can be a guest referee. That's what I'll be a promoter for this. We'll fucking throw the Kokomo Press name on it. We'll get Flory Badunga. He'll be in there fucking guest referee in a match. Your guys the actual new final match of you and Jay. Sorry, I'm over here just making decisions without
that's
any,
okay. That's
without
okay.
any rules.
That's okay. No,
Don't let Jordan take over.
No, Flory Badunga, man, get him out there, dude. I'd be a draw, and he's that basketball player, that plays for which they. I know it's been a minute since we've been on. I don't think we've even had a chance to really talk. Have we? Have we talked about it last time? I don't remember, but I know like
I haven't been on the past few.
Yeah, Kokomo lost, the state championship, but they were the runner-up, so that's pretty cool. And Flory had a big game, double, so not bad. So that's pretty cool. I mean, but like getting in Memorial Gym, I mean, you can sell that You can sell that out. You can sell it anything, dude. It's huge.
And so that's the goal. That's the dream.
Yeah.
And but no, like we want to get back into the fairgrounds. We want to get back into Haynes Apperson and all these other festivals and stuff like that. Like, I even want to put on a show at the Jackrabbit Stadium.
That'd be fun.
So there's a lot of things that I want to do, not just around here, but and to help out with kids in the community here.
Yeah, I see you guys. There's a fundraiser for this Invasion show. Is this
yes.
the J.
So
Rico Wrestling Club?
DCCW, Delaware County Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
They do a lot of stuff for Delaware County, and they're doing a fundraiser for the J County Wrestling Club, which is the J County High School, I believe.
Oh yeah.
They're helping raise money for the wrestling team to get new mats, to get new gear and everything like that.
I love that.
And so like there, me, a lot of people don't know like what I do outside of work and like outside the wrestling business, and besides doing live streaming, where
I want to pivot a little bit into that too. Let's pivot into a little bit of what because you also it's on your hat right now and people can see that, but also you do Random Hero Gaming.
Yeah.
Which is like you stream game, and I mean you.
So so like I stream Call of Duty, Fortnite. I'm trying to get more into more variety.
Yeah.
So like there's new games coming out. I know, you and I talked about Hogwarts Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy, woo!
And I am, and a lot of people will be surprised, but like
I finished my second trials.
I've never been like a big Harry Potter fan.
No.
And I've only seen the first 3 movies.
Okay.
But like
Those are the worst ones. I'm just kidding.
But
they
like,
get better to me as they go.
When the game came out and I saw the trailer for the game, I'm like, this is a game that I have to try, even though I'm not a big fan of Harry Potter.
You don't even have to be.
You don't have
Harry
to be.
Harry Potter's not in it. All the
Exactly.
characters are different.
Isn't it It's a pre?
It's a prequel, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of like things you'll see that happen. Like
It if you've seen the movies, it enhances the game,
right?
But it doesn't make or break the
those
game.
things that the things you see aren't gonna like matter if you haven't seen it,
right? And so like just to experience it and see, be inside the rooms and walk the halls of Hogwarts.
Yeah,
It's just like
it's like Red Dead Redemption but witches.
Oh yes, and so that's another game. Like
I love Red Dead Redemption.
Red Dead Redemption, by far one of my favorite games.
You're all right, boy.
That's the only game I've
You're
ever
all right,
beat.
boy.
That's my favorite. It's all right, boy.
That's why you named Arthur.
Yeah, I named him my son, my youngest son.
I almost named Castiel Arthur because I was playing that game the whole time I was pregnant.
I told my girl, I was like, no, we're naming it. It's just a cool name. I was like, no.
I almost
Arthur
named
Morgan.
Castiel Arthur.
Arthur Morgan. You're all
I was
right,
so
boy.
emotional because I was pregnant while I was playing it.
Oh, I could imagine.
I got the black. There's I can't remember the name of it. The you can get the
Black
white
horse?
Arabian.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so you go up and you have to go up
all the way up into the mountains.
Did
to
you
get
do
that
how
one.
how long did you do it towards the end? Or?
I did it in the
like-
very beginning
like-
because I found out about it in
Yep,
the very
same.
beginning.
That's how it was.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck yeah,
as,
dude, we
as
killed
soon,
it, all
as
of
soon
us.
as I found out about like somebody, I saw like
I saw a
on
video of it.
Yeah, YouTube or Facebook, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
really?
Or you-
So then I
Yeah,
just
there
went
was
up there
a-
and get like, as soon as we got into that first camp after the snowstorm, I was like, I'm gonna go up to the mountain and get that Arabian.
Yeah, fuck
and
yeah.
then after I did that, I got I found out like hidden places where you can get the gold, like on the crashed trains and stuff. So I had like a crap ton of gold.
So you like get down there and you're like, oh, this game's super fucking easy now. I got all the outfits.
No,
And so-
that
and-
was the second time I played through it.
And so then like I got all that gold, and I'm like, oh well, I'm just gonna travel for a while. It's like that game, like
You don't even have to do the game.
It's gigantic,
it's so
dude.
big.
There's so many mystery things like everywhere that you find.
Like exactly, you don't have to just straight up play the story. So like
that's why it takes everybody so long.
and I'll be honest with you, I haven't even beat the story. I mean, I already know what the story happens because it's already been out for a few years. But even though like I still have not beaten the story the first time around because I get so distracted playing the game. Because I'll be riding and I'm like, oh, I want to go hunt some deer. So I'll go hunt some deer.
Oh, did you get the legendary pal?
Oh, my
I got
God,
that motherfucker
yes.
too. I spent all that time. I'm like, I gotta get a perfect cougar. I gotta get a perfect bear
Yeah.
pal.
I
I
can't
gotta
get the fucking cougar and it drives me insane. That's the only one I can't
You
get.
can't get it.
Because the one
It's
in the
the
cave.
Oh, God, the one in the cave.
The one in the, like it gives me so much anxiety doing that because I'm so bad with like the dual analogs because my hands are so small.
Right.
So like if it's something that you have to constantly like move around and look for, I can't do it.
So,
Matt was making fun of me because he said that he was washing my hands while I was playing, and everybody else does it where they like hold the analog like right here. I have to do it on the tip of my finger because I can't reach it. And he's like, I understand why you're so bad at this now, because I have no dexterity and like because I'm like using the tips of my fingers because the controllers are too big for my hands.
That makes me laugh
So
so
he
hard.
looked up, and they make smaller controllers.
Oh, like you did mini
They
controller.
make
You just
mini
did a baby
controllers.
You're gonna get a baby controller.
But they're
Oh
all
my
have
God, she would be a
cords.
midget wrestler. This is like a
I know,
fact.
I know.
Look how little my hands are though.
I know, dude.
And so, but like there's so much in that game that
Oh,
you can
yeah.
do, and it's like
It's
I get
insane.
lost in that game because of all the things you do. But like I had that money, and I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna go to Saint Denis, and so like I went there.
Oh, yeah.
And you
And
die
that's some-
instantly.
And so I saw
Slowly.
I went to the horse shop there just to see others, and then I saw the Black Arabian. So
Yep.
I'm like, oh well, I'm gonna have both of them right off the get go.
Did you guys know about the glitch?
Which one?
Okay,
The
so
bridge?
when you're right by the bridge, when you're on your way to Saint Denis, when you're coming from like the swamp area, like the Louisiana area, when you get to right before you get to Saint Denis,
fixed
which
it.
is basically like New Orleans, right?
Right.
Like, we all know that's New
I
Orleans.
think they fixed it.
Well, they did fix it. They patched it, but not before I got all the horses without. So what would happen was you would save it there, and then you'd respawn there, and then everyone, like, there's this hidden part in the back, and all the good horses, like different ones. So you can get every fucking horse. Like I had a Mustang early.
Oh, that's
I had
awesome.
everything. And then I ended up finding out that you could get the Black Arabian, and you can get the, there's the one more that's like the Rose Gold Arabian. That motherfucker's sweet.
Oh, the one, like the rose mahogany.
Yeah,
or something
I ended
like
up getting that one, and I named it Boa, because like, you're all right, Boa.
that. You're all right, boy.
You're all right,
I don't
Boa.
remember what I named mine. I think it was Cheese.
I named my
I love my horses.
I love my horses. I named
But like
I killed one time and I cried.
you killed a horse?
Yeah.
we were
Like it
sitting
was
there,
following me while I was on the train.
Yeah.
And then I just watched I jumped off the train or something and it ran in front of the train to come get me and I cried.
You can just respawn. Just don't save
yeah,
it.
just respawn.
I was crying. I was distraught.
I mean, they have horse insurance there, which don't make sense. I don't know how you got horse insurance back in the 40s. And, you know,
With Geico, you
I
can get
didn't know what to
15%
do.
off your horse.
15%
I didn't know what to do.
But me and my buddies, we get on. Obviously they had online plays.
Oh yeah.
You could run.
That
your
was the worst.
You could run your moonshine
That was the
stills,
worst.
and but we get on there.
I got shot for killing petting a dog. I was pissed. I just wanted to pet the damn dog and somebody ran up on me.
and so like we'll get there and be like, hey, what do you want to do today? Oh, let's all just get on and play poker all night. Yeah. So we literally would get on there and just have a poker night. And so, but we would get on there and like people would sit there and they'll come running by themselves and like here's 6 of us right in our little gang.
You guys are using the whole server out just to play poker.
And so like this guy will come up and he'll shoot one of us and then like you just see 6 guys throwing lassos at him and anyways my cousin,
That was the problem, was I was playing by myself and nobody would to protect me while I was petting this dog.
my cousin, he actually named one of his horses. It was John Bon Pony.
John Bon Pony. That's hilarious. I do want to. Okay, so I want to talk about this. You stream. You do
Yeah.
with Real Hero Gaming.
Random Hero Gaming.
Random
yeah.
Hero. Let me pull that back up real quick so people can see it. Okay, so Random Hero Gaming, you do a lot of the streaming and stuff.
Yes.
So let me ask you: did you hear? I want to post this up and tell me. Did you see this? This popped up recently for me, and I want to see if I can get it going. Ooh, so
Is it going to be really loud?
I hope not. We'll see. Well, it's taking its time right now.
I'm not even joking, bro. That shit is just too far, bro. All shit aside, that shit is way too fucking far, bro. Y'all literally just went too fucking far with that one, bro. That's not even funny, bro. Y'all just literally showed me my naked sister.
What?
Back, bro. That
So-
shit is too far.
So what happened was, this guy, Aiden Ross, I don't know if I put that on the screen. Hopefully I did. If you guys didn't see it, I'm sorry. But Aiden Ross is a streamer, pretty big streamer, and he got tricked by one of his viewers into looking at his sister's naked photos live on stream. So that censored part that you saw, that
His
was...
sister's nudes, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, look at her. She's beautiful. I would have probably been okay with looking at that. But obviously it's his sister, so probably not.
Wow.
But yeah, he was literally on live stream, Aiden Ross, and he was tricked by viewers to look at his sister's sexually... Ooh. What just happened? I think my headphones came out. It's all right though. But yeah, he got tricked on stream, like to
Like
see
somebody
his,
sent a video, like,
so
look at this funny video.
check out this video, and it starts off one way, and then immediately his sister's nude pops up, and he's literally on stream with everybody, and like it was censored on here obviously because I can't
Right.
show that, but not on there. It wasn't censored. Everybody saw
So,
his.
like, he showed everybody his sister's nudes,
he
too.
live streamed his sister's nudes.
Wow, that's messed up.
Is he he's got a big following, too?
Yeah, Aiden Ross is pretty. I mean, I don't do a lot of the streaming game stuff because like that's my kid thing. But I know he has a pretty big following. Aiden Ross does. But he basically was on stream. His sister has an OnlyFans. Boom, they popped it up on there or whatever.
That's insane.
That's dirty.
That's
That's so
messed
dirty.
up.
Did I tell you
That
about
is-
the time my brother liked my Instagram page?
Oh, that was insane. Tell the people about
I think I
that.
already told you about
You
that.
told me, but
I
not
think
the
I already
people.
told it on the podcast.
All right, yeah, your brother found your.
My brother found my
What do they call him?
Finsta.
Finsta, and liked it.
And liked it, and I had it to where you had to get approved, but I didn't know his name, So I
His screen
approved
name.
it, and then I was like, I should go back and check and see who these people are. And I found out it was my brother, and it was right after I'd posted a picture of my ass.
Oh.
And I was like, oh God, I have to delete him and block him like super fast.
I couldn't imagine.
Well, she realized, like, she was like, oh, I need to check and see who these people are, because
Yeah.
as soon as she added that person, she heard in the other room her brother just making, you know, she's like, what is that going on?
I don't think it's my brother, so you're a liar.
I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Oh, you can't be mad at
Don't
me.
make it
You
weird.
can't be mad at me. You know? Aiden Ross, your brother, everybody's seeing their sister naked.
It's so gross.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. I mean,
And I didn't properly label what the page was, so it looked like it was
spicy
just my
account.
page.
Just put all that on there.
I just put a chili pepper.
He was like, hey, it's my sister. I love. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's her butthole.
Well, it had to be like approved. It was just one picture of my butthole. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, was it your? It was just your butt. It wasn't your
Just my
butthole,
butt.
was it? Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't post anything weird.
Yeah, just her butt.
Not that time. No.
No, it wasn't that weird.
Well, I mean, we all know these famous couches. You know. These
Oh,
are
yeah,
all the ones
yeah.
we know.
Yeah.
So maybe your brother was just on one of the couch on the bottom left. You know. Hanging out.
Bottom
Hey,
right.
sis, will you have a seat, please? Let me talk to you about a couple things. This is an interview, okay? You'll get extra. No, I mean, things have obviously been pretty wild. I mean, did you guys heard about the guy, the Rick and Morty guy that got fired and shit canned from everything because there was allegations made against him for all kinds of stuff? And then it just came out recently that Adult Swim and Cartoon Network cut ties with Justin Roiland when charges were reported and said his roles would be recast. The charges were dropped. So this guy's
So he's
basically
back?
No, he's not back. He got fired. He got removed from everything, and it turns out that the charges got dropped. He didn't even he didn't do anything.
So, but he's still fired?
He's fired. Yep. They already
But
moved on.
and that's the thing that happens like in a lot of places too. Like
See, people
Yeah.
are just out here ruining everybody's lives for no reason.
yeah, 'cause people will get accused of stuff before charges are filed or dropped or anything, and they're already removed. So like a prime example is Enzo Amore in WWE.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was cut from WWE because he was accused of sexual misconduct, and not all the facts came out. Well, then so he got his livelihood was ruined, and then come to find out nothing happened.
It was a lie. Yeah, which I mean, and everybody knows that if you want to sexually assault a woman, you have to be in charge and running the board. You know, you have to be Vince McMahon. That's the only way you're allowed to do that.
Oh yeah,
Mr. McMahon got caught out for it too. And then this happened recently. This came up in the news. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Jonathan Majors, Kang.
that was kind of a shock too.
They said he beat up a woman. Well, it's coming out now that she's even saying he didn't do that. And this is the crazy part. He's the one that called the cops. He called the cops because she was having a manic episode. They showed up. She had some marks on her from her freaking out. And then immediately he gets arrested. So it just it goes to show this is why black people, even in these situations, like black men, black women, they don't want to call the cops because the cops show up and, he had a white girlfriend. Now, boom, all of a sudden, he's arrested for it.
And it's just a shame because, you look at him and you just see, I look at him and I'm like, oh, that's Kang.
Yeah, it's fucking Kang.
And so, like, just watching, Quantum Mania and seeing how the role that he played.
Yeah.
And, like, looking forward as, the King Dynasty
2-3
and everything
years
getting ready
of this
coming
shit,
up.
yeah.
And it's like, are you going to have to recast him because, this? And it's just...
The good news is the multiverse, you can make him look however you... But he's such a wonderful actor. And, they have that rule in New York where any domestic call, if you get called for domestic, if it seems like if there's any signs, it's at the cops' discretion to arrest you if they want to, and it just puts a target on people's backs. It makes you not want to call anymore. Like, why would you want to call?
Nobody does call anymore.
Yeah, and that's why. I mean, it proves the point here.
They're either not going to do anything or they're going to do the complete opposite of what they should.
And it's everything, and all this stuff has been super disproportionate. And not to keep harping on it, but the same thing happened here. I don't know if you guys saw what happened with Afroman.
Yeah.
Police officers raided his home, and then he caught them on
video?
film. Yeah,
This
he
is
caught
pretty
them on
hilarious.
film, and so he put out a music video calling them out, and put them in the music video. And now the police officers who raided his home are suing because he invaded their privacy. Motherfucker, you went in my home and raided it.
How'd you invade my privacy? That's just like
You were going. They were opening
the one
CD
girl,
cases.
the one girl that slept with all of her coworkers in the police force.
Yeah.
Now she's going around saying that
Megan Hall.
She was being.
she was forced to do it.
Yeah.
But it's like, how are you forced to show up to a after hours party? How are you forced to show up to?
Anything ever happened like that to you?
What?
where people have okie dokie like that. Well, I mean, obviously this is where she works too, so it's a
Right.
part of it. I don't want to rush to judge because I mean it could very well come out that she was, but like
There have been situations where I didn't want to do something, and it's been like I've been coerced into doing the thing.
yeah. It's very. I mean, you're the lone woman in the room. Like, does that seem plausible to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but like, there's a lots of manipulation tactics that come with these kind of things.
Yeah.
Like they could have told her that like, yeah, this would be really cool if you did this, and
Yeah.
like, and maybe she was in
put
like
the
a
mic
bad
back down.
mental state or something, and
Yeah. Well, I know
it's possible.
It originally came out. They said that it was all consensual,
Right.
And then now she's coming out saying actually it wasn't.
I don't
consensual.
like that they do that. Like that people do that.
Yeah.
Or like maybe she said it was consensual because she didn't want them to get in trouble and she was scared. Maybe I don't know.
There's so much. I just think that what we need to do is we need to get all the facts before we start accusing
know.
people.
or start
it's
posting
really
about
quick.
it.
Exactly.
There was a weird post or a weird tweet I saw where they were talking about Trump because obviously everybody. I don't have a graphic of this, but Trump was arrested or he's been what do they call it? Arraigned. Is it arraigned? Basically,
seeing
they brought up
posts
initial.
about
They
free
brought up
Trump.
initial charges on him. He's gonna have to like give himself up to the authorities in New York for like he's been charged with like 30 different things of like election something. But anyway, I remember one of the posts was like one of the posts somebody put out was like, well, if he's innocent, he'll have a chance to prove his innocence. And I'm like, that's not how court works. You're supposed to prove guilt.
Right.
And nowadays it does really feel like half the time we have to prove we're innocent
Yeah.
instead of prove we're guilty, and that's the
It's
whole
not
basis
innocent
of
until
our
proven
court
guilty
system.
anymore.
Well, and that's
it's
like-
guilty until proven innocent.
And that's just
Absolutely.
like a lot of things. Like I don't like to talk about my personal life a lot. But
Yeah.
Like I'm going in a situation where it's like I have custody of my 2 daughters,
Yeah.
and I've been trying to do everything by the book and what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I was in the situation that my children's mom is,
Yeah.
I would be sitting in jail right now.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
There is a
because
double standard on both. I mean, you can honestly say there's a double standard on both
mean, you went
sides.
through
And to
it
be
too.
honest, yeah, I went through a little bit. Me and my ex are in a really good place now, so I
Right.
don't really worry too much
Right.
about it. But for a while there, as a man, and like I said, you can attest this as well. You feel super insecure that you're like afraid the system is gonna fuck you before you even begin, before
Right.
you even get to plead your case. And a lot of times, like. One of the things that I've always told people is the reason why I fought so hard for custody of my oldest son was because I knew my intentions at the end of the day would be I want him to have a relationship with his mom.
Right.
But she, based on what she said, made it feel like she might not give me that
Right.
chance.
Well,
and I'm like, I'm not doing
that's
that.
the thing. And that's the thing. Like, I don't know if she watches this or not.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like, I'm not gonna bring out names and
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
yeah,
go
no,
into
you're good.
details. But like, it's one of those things. It's like, I've never once since getting custody, never once told her she could never be a part of her, her
Yeah,
kid's
yeah.
life. I always said that if you're gonna do that, you're gonna do it the right way.
Yeah.
All I ask is you do it the right way.
Yeah.
And there's been several years where it's not been the right way, and so it does put a stain, not just on the relationship between the 2 parents where you're supposed to co-parent and do what's best for the kids, but then it puts a stain on the kids because I do this at mommy's house but I can't do this at your house.
Yeah, you have to learn how to navigate that, and a lot of it is getting people to understand like the concept of like, I don't care what happened to get us to this point.
Right.
We're here. Now we have to find a way to like manage this together,
Exactly.
as fairly to everybody as possible. And I mean I understand using the book because those Indiana State guidelines and everything, they're really minimum. And I think a lot of my guy friends even get super screwed by those because they're good dads, but they ended up getting in that system, and and the guidelines are the bare minimum. They
Right.
are not what you're supposed to like. They are what happens if communication breaks down.
Right.
I think the most important thing
That's why
in
I
most
just don't
couples.
care about it. That's why we just haven't went to court. I feel like we do it better without getting.
And there's certain
But-
situations that you can do that.
But you have to remember also
situation
that
is a lot
you're
different.
you're also a woman.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't mean, I hate to do the men's rights activist thing because I'm
No,
really
I
not
get
doing
it.
that. But the truth of the matter is, one of the few places
I'm 100%
in society,
in control of what.
yeah,
happens.
one of the few places in society that you can honestly look at the disparity between men and women would be courts, and men and fathers are just not represented and
Parental
not treated
rights.
properly.
Yeah, especially in the state of Indiana. Indiana's real big is a real big Mother's Day, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Oh yeah, it is.
And but like, and so there's some things that do need to be worked out as far as, hey, equal rights. Like, I'm not trying to be, sexist or anything like that, but like,
no, when you say equal rights, it means equal rights for men and women.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
if you're not paying child support or you're doing stuff that you're not supposed to do, you should face the consequences just like I would if I was in that situation.
Yeah, it's a touchy subject. Honestly, like we all are not with the person we had kids with. All of us. I'm with one of the people that I had kids with, but like I have 2 kids. So, and you said 2 girls.
I have 2 girls and a son
and a boy. So is that with your current?
No. So me and my son's mom, we are the complete opposite.
You guys get along.
We get along.
Hell yeah.
But it's the ex-wife.
Yeah. The hard feelings, man. I think I have a lot of friends of mine who will constantly hit me up and be like, how? Like, cause like me and my ex-wife, we get along really, really well. Like we play softball together, we play kickball together. Her daughter stays over. Her daughter with her husband now comes over, stays the night all the time with our daughter and their buddies. And like if she's leaving town,
a long time for you guys to get that way.
I mean, we're looking at 10 years. I mean, at this point, but like it only took us about 5 or 6 years to get to that point. And a lot of times it can be like even like the person you're dating now can like fuck up your relationship with the person. Like you have to have a really good relationship with each other if you have kids, and you have to put aside like what got us to the point where we're not together. That don't fucking matter now.
No.
What matters at the end of the day now is making sure our kids are taken care of together, and we are partners in this, whether we fucking like it or not. So let's find the best in this and let's communicate.
Like we're stuck with each other for the rest of our lives anyway.
It
Might
just
as well.
is what it is. Like, did you guys see this shit? I know I'm not trying to bring up too much negative stuff, but did you guys see this little boy?
Did they ever find him?
They did. I was gonna bring that up, but this little boy, this is this picture that circulated. He was missing, and it's a shirt where he's being shamed publicly and privately in all different ways about on some stuff that he did. Cheated on my what?
I hurt my something. Cheated my something. Say because I felt
I'm a liar. I mean, it's just evil. He hurt his little brother. I cheated on my test or something. I don't know, but like all that happened with this little guy, and this little guy, he was missing forever, and luckily they just finally found him. 14-year-old boy, Scotty Morris, not much older than my own kid. And I'm like, I understand kids sometimes can be bad, but like don't publicly shame your kids. Like come on,
don't publicly shame your kid in the missing poster.
Oh yeah, that was the weirdest part about it.
That's disgusting.
It was insane.
Now a bunch of people are looking into the parents thinking he's being abused, and like the sister was tweeting about him, and I don't know
it happens really quick,
that,
man.
but like there was a lot.
You got things like that where the negative comes out, and then you wonder why the kid went missing.
Oh yeah,
like the kid doesn't want to be in that environment, and it's like, but we also got to look at it like that's another thing that needs to be worked on. The Department of Child Services.
Yeah.
Because you look at it like you look at the Fernandez kid or the kid that they just made a video of. It's on Netflix. Where he was constantly being abused, and nobody done anything for it, and he ended up dying.
Yeah.
And then something happened to his parents.
And then people give a fuck.
And it's like
after he's already gone.
Right. And it's like, why didn't you guys do something to help get him out of that situation?
I think the internet's learning the lesson because this popped up recently too, and people freaked out. They're doing preschool diving classes with babies diving. So I think that's pretty. Actually, what it is it's AI fake things, and people were flipping out about it.
Did you AI
see that? It's
on the post.
On the post
on the
you saw, not
one.
all of them. The original one, didn't it? Probably saw the wrong.
But I mean, but still, like people look at this stuff and it's it's like, oh my gosh. And
outrage over this, but not over a kid that's actually being harmed.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's really what I was trying to get to with it. Was like people will freak out over an AI kid baby, obviously something that's not real, but then at the same time they will ignore the Fernandez kid or any other kid that's been, being abused in the system. And to be honest, like we've had a lot of really negative things. I don't really want to get into too much of it just because, we did have a huge school shooting in Tennessee, which was crazy. And the shooter is not who you thought the shooter would be this time. You know what I mean? And
so now people are, sitting there like, oh, whoa.
Hold on, we need to sit and talk about mental health. And no, I mean, at the end of the day, like anybody can be the shooter if they're marginalized in any way, and it starts to make you wonder, well, how many people you've heard talk about, like, oh, it always seems to be straight white males doing this, and I'm like,
Right.
and then now all of a sudden, when marginalized, the last like 3 or 4 big ones that I've seen have been people who are marginalized. I saw a non-binary person. I've seen a couple of trans people, and it's like a couple of transhumans, and I'm like, it doesn't matter what your sexual orientation, your gender, your race, your any of that. If you have a mental health issue and they get to that point, none of that fucking matters. What matters is making sure people don't get to the point where that's the end all be all. And everybody freaks out about guns and about taking away guns. As a veteran, I'm obviously not for it whatsoever. But at the same time, like, you can be upset and say, well, you see the correlation between all these guns. Like, there's so many law-abiding citizens that have guns that don't do this shit. At the end of the day, the correlation is social media.
Right.
The internet. The internet and social media has opened us up wide where we can see everything at all times. It's like, what's that fucking movie just won the Oscar, Everything Everywhere All at Once? That's literally the internet. That is the internet now. Like, anything that you need to see, anytime you hear about something, it all pops up. So if you're a kid and you're having a rough time, I mean, the girl or the boy, I don't want to know the person that committed this atrocity in Tennessee. Like, this person, like 28 years old, went to a school, killed a bunch of 9-year-olds and a bunch of 60-year-olds.
Right,
69.
and you sit there and you're like,
But why didn't they have like a
manifesto? They won't release it. Which I kind of get. I kind of get why they don't want to release it. But also, I'm like, we do want the transparency of it.
Right. And I do think transparency. Everybody deserves transparency.
Yeah.
Because and that's the thing. Like, our politics, politics and everything. They always try to control the narrative, and I don't think. Me personally, as a veteran, we don't have a gun problem. It's not a gun problem we have.
It's definitely a social media problem.
It's social media. It's a mental health. It's a mental health
people
issue.
problem?
Yeah,
and it's and it is a people problem. But
I think you're right. It's not a gun problem, but it is a little bit of a gun problem.
Right. No. Anybody can get access to a gun.
Yeah. If you know what you're doing.
If you know what you're doing, like you can go to the black. You can go on the block and buy one, or go to the black market and buy one. But it's if you don't practice that gun safety and you don't practice that,
Which is why I have not bought a gun.
Hey, Justin, can I ask you a question?
Okay.
Why the market gotta be black? I'm just kidding.
No.
That's
But
Chris Rock.
but,
I'm just kidding. It's a black
that's
market.
what it is.
No, like the truth of the matter is, if you watch, there's all of these problems are multivariate.
Right.
People like to pretend like it's this or this. This or this, that's it. It's either this or this. It has to be this, and it's like, no. These processes, these problems are multivariate. It's not just a gun problem. It's not just a mental health issue. It's not just a social media issue. It's all these things plus a million more things that are contributing to this crisis that we're having. And I mean, since Columbine, and I mean, the media is partially to blame because they give these kids that do this are front page. Their manifestos are printed. Like, all of this stuff it comes out and it becomes a huge issue. And I mean, social media has done as much, if not more bad than it's done good. Connecting us all together.
And that's the thing. Like, where has I don't like to judge journalism and everything, but it's like we don't have truth and honesty in journalism anymore either. And I think that's a huge problem, as far as like, and I'm not going to try to sway anybody this way, but like you look at the elections, like we had so much censorship on conservative side. It's like, what if what the conservatives were doing was better than what Biden and
like the Joe Biden, like the Biden laptop, that whole thing got censored by big tech, and like, I mean, a lot of stuff happens, and I mean, it's the same with the rise of Trump. Whether you're a conservative or a liberal, the media pushed Trump because they thought that he was going to lose and he was an easy layup, and they found proof that the Democratic Party helped fund super PACs, or at least the super PACs, the Democratic, the liberal super PACs funded the conservative super PACs to kind of get Trump elected, so that not elected, but as the representative for the Republican Party, so that Hillary could beat him easily, and then she got beat. So it backfired on their fucking faces real quick.
And that's the thing. Like, when I look into the elections and I look who's going to run the country, I look at the best candidate. I don't care if they're Republican or Democratic. Whatever you can do to help my country, help my livelihood and my kids' livelihood in the future, I'm gonna vote for you. And So I think that's where a lot of things come. Like the censorship has to go away.
Yeah.
In order for us to get all the facts to decide who we want.
And honestly, if we're talking about elections, the Kokomo Press recently just had an election, and we have appointed Alan James as the new head of the Kokomo Press. I don't know if you guys have seen. Very excited about that. So if you guys check it out, he did a press release and everything, which was pretty sweet. I'm excited. And then on top of all that, like at the end of the day, with all of this, we just have to make sure that we're respecting each other and we're trusting each other and we're giving each other the benefit of the doubt, you know?
And that's a lot of things that we, I try to bring onto my gaming channel is like,
yeah.
If you ever pop into my gaming channel and see, I don't know if I have
Random Hero Gaming.
I was following his page before I even knew him.
Yeah, that was weird.
He went to look it up on my Facebook.
But like,
and I had already followed him.
but like in all my streams, I have like, the sponsors that I have.
Yeah.
And I have a rolling picture. And in that rolling picture, I always have the suicide awareness hotline.
Yeah.
And I even have it on like my opening pages and stuff like that because mental health is a huge. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but it's a big factor now.
It is.
And like, at one point, I even sat there and like, I don't know if I need to go do anything. I feel weak, if I go and get help, I'm a loser. That's how I looked at it, back in the day. But like me being an advocate, going into the military and stuff like that, getting PTSD and having anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
I noticed it affecting me and my livelihood, taking care of my kids.
Yeah.
And like being impatient and snapping at things when I shouldn't have snapped at. And so like I got help, and I encourage everybody to get help.
Yeah.
Because it does. At the end of the day, you don't want to be the one who could have helped somebody.
Right.
And look in the paper and realize that person's no longer here because they committed suicide.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, that suicide hotline. I mean, if you listen to Logic, you know the number. You know what I mean? The 180. You know what I'm talking about? I don't remember that song at all.
I think they changed the number.
They changed it again. Isn't it like 411 now? No, that's a different one. That's like if you need roadside assistance or something. What is it?
I don't know. 922.
922, something like that. 822, 622,
811.
I know 411
6969.
6969. Speaking of 69, didn't he get beat up?
Yeah,
he did. I think he got beat up like twice.
Well, especially with Indiana and the whole issue with the fact that according to the Wallet Hub, Indiana sits in the bottom 10 of U.S. states when it comes to funds. So
899 or 988.
988.
You can text also.
988. There you go. So if you are having any mental health issues because you live in a state that's in the bottom fifth of happiness, then go ahead and call that number. I mean, it is what it is. Like, we know what we have here. I enjoy being in Indiana. I love being.
I enjoy it too.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, when I go to live the rest of my life, I want to live in Indiana? Probably not. I have family from Tennessee, so I would love to live in the hills of Tennessee. And
it's also not easy to date right now because people like Cortni are doing this.
What?
More than 40,000 women are part of a private Facebook group sharing knowledge about who they might be dating.
Why am I not in this group?
You aren't in the group? I thought you were.
I'll be damned.
I thought you were in the group. I heard about the group because I'm pretty sure Corey Warner is the reason why I heard about the group, because he said, "Who's posting me in this fucking group telling them I ain't dating nobody? Why are you?" And I'm like, "You gonna trust random women?"
Oh,
just
I'm not in that group. I don't date.
Not that one. Well, you used to date.
I didn't date. No, I didn't. What are you talking about?
You never dated before?
Yeah, I don't date anymore.
I never dated.
I don't date anymore.
I don't date.
I would pretend.
I learned my lesson
one time.
I learned my lesson.
You learned your lesson in dating?
I only date my friends.
So not to knock out anybody,
Yeah.
I met this girl and I wanted to go on a date with her, so we took her on a date and got ghosted on a Monday.
Oh shit! On a Monday?
Yeah, after spending $300 on a date.
Oh no!
Got ghosted on that Monday.
It was worth it.
So I was like, I got to go to a couple places that I've never been before, so I guess that worked out.
You must have really planned the fuck out of that date, didn't you?
I did.
Damn.
We went to Ford's Garage.
Oh shit, that's a nice place. You been there, right?
Have you ever been there?
Have you?
Where?
You been there?
Ford's Garage.
Oh no, my buddy Jeremy was just talking about him and his girl Allie. I think they went to that Ford Garage thing down.
I'll tell you what. If you ever go to Ford Garage, Go there and order the buffalo macaroni and cheese.
Is it good?
Oh, it's fire. Like, it comes out, it's in a plate like this big,
Yeah.
and it's got the chicken, it's got the buffalo sauce on top of the macaroni.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
I could eat that just as a meal itself.
I'm just happy. I'm happy that we in Kokomo we're starting to get things like that because I mean with the Coteries food has been killing it lately. Cooper's has been killing it lately.
They opened that winery I went to
There's
yesterday.
a White Horse, isn't that White Horse?
White Horse Winery something.
The new winery that just opened up. There's one that's on Markland. It's down by One Main Financial that just opened up.
Is that Yolanda's? People have been talking about Yolanda's.
Yolanda's.
People have been
There's
I heard
that
that was really
barbecue
good.
place. They have DoorDash, so I tried that.
Talking about Wolf's?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's new.
was
There's
good.
a lot of that's actually Shelby's
Now that
friends.
we finally got Popeye's chicken. And
Yeah,
I thought that was the one that was his friend.
we're getting ready to get Raising Cane's. Did you guys hear about that?
Oh, nice.
We're getting Raising Cane's over
don't
by
know
where
what that is.
A&W. It's a chicken place, but we're getting it over by where
That's the
A&W.
one with the chicken
and
strips.
And see,
They have a sauce that everybody loves.
and that's the thing. Like, Kokomo is really starting to
See, I just,
grow.
Yeah, we're booming.
I'm
Yeah.
just,
Business
I just
is open,
really
baby.
miss being outside.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day today. I mean, we should have
And
done this
that's
outside.
the thing. Like, back when when we were younger, like, we are always outside.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Constantly.
constantly outside. Like, me and my friends.
That's why it kills me winter. Wintertime kills me.
Like, me and
I
my
spend all
friends.
summer outside.
We'd sit there, go outside, play football. We would wrestle, backyard wrestle,
Yeah.
and do all kinds of things. But like nowadays, it's like you don't see kids outside
My
anymore.
kids are like, why am I so depressed?
Touch some grass,
Go
bitch.
outside.
and but like
It's
I
getting
get
so
it.
bad that they're cutting down all the trees because nobody's fucking going outside.
But at the same time, it's like it's hard to trust what's going on with the world today because like you look at I always tell like my little cousins and stuff because they're in that age now like where they want to go out with their friends and go to the malls and stuff like that. But it's like you guys can't always do that without supervision because you look at Delphi.
Yeah.
You look what happened at the with Libby and Abby and Delphi.
Yeah.
Like all they were doing
Oh, I'm
was
terrified to let my kids do anything.
like
I really am. Like, you let your son ride his bike places, and I'm like, I'm never.
Well, I have a son. You have daughters,
Yeah.
like older daughters, and then a young
But
boy.
like, but that's right there. Like you look at it and it's like, how is it safe for me to let my kids just go off and run?
Yeah.
I know
Not
the shit that I
knowing-
used to do their age, though.
Right, and not knowing if they're gonna come back home.
Do you really think your
Right.
kids are that cool though?
No, they're not at all.
What I just wanted to check and make sure you knew.
No, they don't have any friends.
But speaking of
Yeah.
the Abby and Libby situation, do you see about that Keegan Klein guy?
Yeah, he had the CP. Yeah, I heard they caught his ass and didn't they just sentence him?
Yeah, he just pleaded guilty.
Yeah, but he only pleaded guilty to possession of CP. Right? He didn't plead guilty to do anything because they have another guy that they have
Yeah.
that they think is actually
They think that
the Delphi killer, but he was talking to them, which it's okay. I want to preface this, so it's like I'm not judging any parents at all, but when you go to look at this case and you see what happened with these young girls, and then you see how many different random dudes these girls were talking to. What the fuck are these parents doing? Like, and I'm not
Abby
trying to
and
shame.
Libby?
Yeah, they were talking to that dude. That's how they connected that Ethan Klein dude to these kids. Is they were talking to him on like Kick or some type of fucking messenger, and he was just, And I'm like, where are these? Like, come on, parents. Like, I'm not trying to like shame them. They lost their kids. I feel horrible for it. Like, clearly, but like, we all have to kind of think and see what happened in this situation and kind of reassess like what we're allowed to do and how and we want to give our kids privacy. Privacy is super fucking important. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like privacy doesn't matter. But when it's a kid, you kind of have to be on their shit checking to see what the hell they're
especially
doing.
social media.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
That's a real big thing. Like going through with my kids right now. Like my oldest daughter, she loves TikTok.
Oh yeah,
She loves to make TikToks.
kids love TikTok.
And so like my girls, they do have their own phones, but it's only Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
So they can't call nothing or anything like that.
yeah,
But I go in there and like every day before bed or something like that, I go in there and check, make sure she's not talking to people that she's not supposed to.
Yeah.
She's not, following people she's not supposed to, and she's not making TikToks that she's not supposed to.
yeah.
Right.
Because she's only 7 years old, and I'm sorry, but if anything happened to my kids, I'm gonna be sitting in prison.
Yeah. It's gonna be real quick. The whole thing is it's a bizarre time to live in because of that. We are overly connected in every facet of the word, and then on top of it, like our kids are being constantly like bombarded by ideologies. Period. No matter what it is, whether it's a positive or negative, depending on how you look on it, like politically or socially or whatever.
Right.
But it's just like you really cannot
We
protect
have
your
a lot
kids
of
from the
things that
internet.
they have to deal with that we didn't have to deal with.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like,
a lot of like self things.
Yeah, a lot of
deciding who
identity
they
shit.
are
Everybody's
and
obsessed with identity
identity
now.
stuff.
I don't give a fuck what your identity. You know what I mean? That's the thing. When we were kids, your identity was go to school. That was your
Yeah.
fucking identity.
Right.
Now these kids, it's like they're obsessed with it's a self-obsession. It's a constant narcissistic self-obsession that social media created, where everybody thinks that because your life is that everything's a performance now. Oh, I went to get a dinner, better take a picture. Like, oh, I'm hanging out with my friends, I better take a picture. Like, everything's a performance. We're performing for everybody all the time. That it gets to the point where like everybody has anxiety because they're freaked out that they're going to be seen in something else. Everybody wants to know who they are, and they're obsessed with self. And it's just a constant narcissism that these kids have that we have fucking facilitated, and we have taught them through the means of how we exist on social media as well. We had one foot out of social media and one foot in because we remember.
Right.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 32.
32. I'm 35. You're 34. Like, we all grew up at a time where the internet wasn't everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Now these kids, they're fucking literally everything. Like, they do schoolwork on the internet. They do
Yeah.
everything is internet based.
It drives me crazy that all the computer stuff for schools is on the computer.
Yeah.
Like, I have no way to see whether my kids are actually doing their work.
Oh yeah, they found a way to make it so it's almost impossible for us to check their kids.
And then they're like,
work.
"Oh, your kids aren't doing their work." Like, how am I supposed to know that?
Oh, you have to log on to this website and see where they
Like,
missed
I'm not
this.
going to sit and watch this website while she's working.
And then I message the teacher and I'm like, "Hey, I see Nathaniel's missing this thing," and the teacher's like, "Oh, well, I haven't graded that yet."
Yeah.
How the fuck am I supposed to know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't get it. I don't get Seesaw. I don't get any of that the new stuff.
I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, just give them a worksheet. I can look at this and I can see whether it's done or not, and then I can tell you.
Oh shit!
Like,
dude.
oh, your daughter's not doing this and this and this. I'm like, okay, make her do it. They're with you at school. Like,
Right.
what am I supposed to do?
Teachers are so much more than teachers now. They think they're parents, and it's one of the huge fights that everybody keeps having politically is that teachers think that they're more important than they are. Your job is to teach a kid. Your job isn't to raise my kid. Your job isn't to tell my kid or provide a safe space for my kid. That's what home's for.
Right.
And I know there's some kids that probably do need teachers' intervention of some sort, but it's like not every kid needs you to tell them how to live their life. That's what parents are for. And it just gets really frustrating over time to watch just the degradation of like our society just breaking down.
Everybody's
constantly.
getting stupider.
Yeah. Stupider. We all went to Jupiter to get more stupider.
They did.
I mean, it's true because like
That's why I went to Venus to get more penis.
I hate you so much right now.
but like, but you're right. Like a lot, like everything's being on the internet. So like,
Yeah.
it's like nobody wants to. Like I know when I go to learn, like I got to learn hands on.
Yeah.
Like show me
Yeah.
how to do this, because if you don't show me how to do this, I'm not going to learn by watching
Absolutely.
a video or reading how to do it. Like show
I
me
need
how
to do
it.
it. I
Right.
need to watch somebody else
And-
do it or do it myself.
And so like now it's just like going through all that it's amazing how far we came from the 90s to
Yeah.
2023, and it's like I remember third grade, me in third grade going around playing Pokemon with my friends.
Yeah.
And now these third graders are trying to make TikToks and
Yeah.
Now
these
kids
got
that and the
phones
kids
and-
that are still involved in Pokemon are getting booted from tournaments for laughing at a pronoun question. I read this thing. I actually saw this happen in real time. The kid, I've seen his tweets about it because I play Pokemon TCG, and that's what happened. Makani Tran, like they asked Makani multiple times, like because Makani has been, they do these stream match where the kids will play each other,
Right.
and the kid was playing like a pretty well known Pokemon player and was kind of nervous, and they asked Makani like, what are your pronouns, and he's like he him, and he was laughing because he was nervous because his friends had given him shit because they didn't ask his pronouns the last time he was on stream, and they used they them pronouns, but that's what they do as the default is they them is like what they use, and I guess he was ribbed a little bit by his friends, like, oh, you're using they them pronouns, like goofing with them.
Yeah.
So he's like laughing, like, oh my god, thank God they asked me this question, because if not, then I would be getting ribbed by my friends. And so McConaughey like laughed a couple times. Like, yeah.
Remember we used to just call people gay all the time?
I still do. I mean, no, I don't remember that.
Remember that was just like a that's gay.
Oh my god, don't use that pejoratively.
Don't use that. You're gonna.
I'm gay.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I'm allowed to.
You are
Okay,
gay. That's
okay,
right.
so I
That's
guess
true.
she can't
So
say
fucking
that.
gay, dude. Everybody be careful this week because there is some severe weather coming. I don't know if you guys saw this, but on
pizza.
Thursday, apparently
An
there's...
avocado and a pizza?
Yeah, it looks like something, doesn't it? It's an avocado with 2 fucking pits. That would be the worst avocado ever. 2 pits in it.
Speaking of the severe weather, you
Yeah.
know, I was driving on my way up here. I was driving on 26, and
Oh,
I saw
devastated. How many houses did you see?
I only saw one.
Okay.
And I took quite a few pictures of it, and it was.
We had some. I mean, this popped up on my shit the other day. I screenshot it so I could show everybody. But yeah, there was debris in the roads. People had. I mean, trees have
Oh my
fallen.
gosh.
Houses
I'll
have
show you
fallen.
guys
It was
the picture.
Insane, dude. You guys have got it. Look
Did I
at that
say
shit.
you how terrified I was? Because
yeah.
I ate too much of an edible?
Oh, I couldn't imagine. But no, I feel like you look at like.
That's insane. That is fucking insane. Sheesh. Point towards your camera. Let's see if we can get it up by your camera. I don't know if you guys can kind of see that a little bit, but if not, check it out. There's like so much going on, man. It's
That's
insane.
crazy.
I mean, the house is just destroyed, and it only lasted for like a half hour, right? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know, I was asleep
but like
and freaking out.
going up to the house right there, it's just.
Sheesh. Yeah, my girl was worried that her sister's house fell because she lives in that area.
Well, my aunt lives over there, too.
Yeah,
it was
I know.
Like right before 19.
I know your aunt lives there.
You been to her house?
I've been a lot to your aunt's house. I fucked her.
Didn't you just talk about my grandma earlier?
Yes, and it's a family affair.
My mom?
Yeah. Well, that's Matt's girl. I don't really fuck with her.
Yeah.
Too. Only when Matt and I are together that we spend time with him.
You three-way my mom?
Yeah, we 3-way
Hey, I mean,
on the phone.
Is it
and
like
in real life.
Irish or Eiffel Tower?
Eiffel Tower? Yeah, actually, it's exactly every time. Matt and I look at
you
each other
guys-
and we
if
go,
you-
wee,
if
wee,
you guys
wee,
are-
ho, ho, ho.
You guys are looking each other in the eye. Is it
Yeah.
gay?
Yeah, that's actually what we actually do it so we can be gay without touching each other, so we can just stare at
You
each
don't
other.
hold hands?
And we pretend. Yeah, we do.
you
But
do-
we
you
pretend we're
also-
doing each other.
You also like lock fingers, like.
Yeah. See, we used to call each other gay back in the day, but now we are gay. So it's okay. It's
So,
self-fulfilling.
yeah,
it was a
it
self-fulfilling prophecy.
oh,
The
so I like
prophet.
what you did there.
Yeah. All right, we gotta wrap this up. We're about an hour and 20 minutes in. I appreciate like literally you guys sticking through all this. We had a great time here. We had Justin Terrell. This is his wrestling name. The Prophet Justin Terrell. Juston Grubb is his real name. Check him out on Random Hero Gaming. I want to say Real Hero Gaming. Random Hero Gaming and the Prophet Justin Terrell. He's got 2 Facebook pages. Right?
Yeah.
You gotta check them both out because you do a lot of stuff, dude.
I do a lot of stuff. Like when I'm not streaming or wrestling and raising my kids, like we're just now started softball. So
Raising kids is hard enough.
so now I'm their softball coach.
Oh,
So
there you go.
I'm coaching them in softball.
Been there.
I'm also a football coach at Tri Central.
That's fun.
I'm getting ready to take over. Hopefully, we're still waiting for the approval, but be the next middle school football coach at Tri Central.
Hell yeah.
So, and when I'm not doing that, then I'm editing my streams or just trying to enjoy
Eating
life.
food, working out, doing
Right.
things.
Try-
You
trying
got anything
to
coming
do-
up, Courtney? I was gonna ask
Me?
you. Yeah, do
No.
you have anything coming up? You have any events or anything?
No.
You going to any cool like comedy shows or anything? You have
Oh
anything
yeah,
going
there's
on?
a comedy show.
Yeah, there's a comedy. I forgot about that.
What
Thanks
day
for
is
bringing it
that?
up. That belated comedy bash,
Oh, yeah,
429.
429.
It is sold out.
It's
you are
great
not
because
getting
I don't
tickets.
have to do anything.
April 29th, you're running the camera, but
Fuck.
me, Brian West, Lisa Sears, Brian Smiley, and your headliner is Jake Rubel, who was just on tour with Jay Muse from Jay and Silent Bob.
That's awesome.
He it's actually pretty lit, but he's coming and doing comedy for us. It's gonna be a fun time, so check that out. Other than that, I don't have anything else going on. Check out the Weekly Plug. Check out AACW. Yeah, I do want to bring that back up for the people. Check this out because AACW, if you want tickets, $12. It's gonna be on April 15th. So go check that out, and then a couple weeks later, come check us out on our comedy show if you already have tickets. Sold out, baby. Fucking sold out. You can't show up if you can't. I'm not letting you come. I'm not letting you come anymore. You can't come on me. What?
What?
What? Anyway,
Tell
I'm
Matt.
Jordan Granger and my co-host
Cortni Richardson.
and our special guest.
Justin Grubb.
Check us out. Check him out. Check her out. Hey, I love you guys.
Don't check me out.
Check out Cortni. Follow her fence.
Don't follow my fence.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast. We really appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can check us out on the Kokomo Press at Facebook, at YouTube, at Instagram, or you can follow us all at our individual accounts if you want on Twitter or Facebook or wherever. You can get our merch, or if you really, really, really want to help us out, it's only $5. You can actually subscribe to our Patreon. Check that out because we have a lot of content we want to give you guys, and we want to put more and more out, and it's starting to get expensive. So hit us up. Thank you for watching this episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast. Thank you so much. We love you. 2 kisses.